Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be doing a movie review of Star Wars Episode 7, Force Awakens, but we're going to be playing Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Obviously I can't just show you guys the movie, heck I don't even think it's out on torrents yet. But anyways, a lot of you guys wanted me to make a video talking about it because you guys were like, hey, are you going to watch the movie? And this is the only Star Wars game that I have that I think would look nice. Unfortunately, Old Republic, that resolution's kind of bad. But if you guys are like, whoa, didn't you just make a video on this? I wanted to redo it because there's a lot of great points that you guys mentioned that I wanted to mention as well as touch up upon. And in addition to that, I wanted to also say that no, I'm not sponsored by Disney. I don't know why you guys think I'm a sellout every time I make a video that is a little bit different. I know a lot of you guys were like, oh my gosh, Star Wars, super excited to watch it this weekend, or this week, depending on when you can watch it. But anyways, just got done watching it, and no, I'm not sponsored by Disney. I wish. One thing that I will always do, guys, if I am sponsored by a certain company or something, and I'm making a video for them, I'll always let you guys know. But I wouldn't be a super sellout and be like, this game is amazing when it's not. But yeah, Force Unleashed 2 is the game we're playing on PC. So, but if I am like getting wrecked in the game, it's probably because I'm reading these notes that I got. Anyways, first off, I feel like I should say first off that I'm not like, oh my gosh, Star Wars best sci-fi ever. I think Star Wars, for the most part, the sci-fi on it is relatively weak. When you compare it to like some good type of sci-fi, something like Tom Clancy, even though I guess you can say it's more realistic, but there's some sci-fi in Tom Clancy. Anyways, I think Deus Ex just has a much better storyline, but that's completely a different topic. But I do really like some of the Star Wars games, specifically Knights of the Old Republic. I think that's a game a lot of people can familiarize with. But as far as the series, I would say they're relatively weak, especially on the sci-fi section. Like, sure, like, the universe is okay in some senses, but if you compare its universe to Mass Effect, it's like, nah, I don't know, not even that great, my personal opinion. I mean, we have stormtroopers that can never land a freaking shot in the game, or movie, but, anyways, I know that one of the comments is going to be something about Cosmos. No, Cosmos are dead, guys. They all got killed by pendulums. But anyways, so first off, I want to say I went to the movies with not a high expectation. I think that depending on like where you land on the spectrum of how much you love Star Wars, there are people that are going to defend it to the death. There are a lot of problems with every movie. Like, even with Deus Ex Human Revolution, that game's gameplay was terrible, but I still vote it to be a really high game just because, like, I'm a huge fan. Star Wars fans will always be like, oh no, or just any fan of something that they really like in general will defend it even if they're wrong on certain things. But anyways, so first off, when the movie first started, I was really surprised that Kylo, he just went into that. Oh, by the way, just as a heads up, there will be spoilers in this. I feel like I really need to explain some of the spoilers just so I can give you guys my reasons why, I liked or didn't like the movie, and you guys will find out. So, anyways, I was super surprised in the very beginning that Kylo just went to that village and just absolutely destroyed everyone and was like, basically no survivors, and he was a complete badass. Like, when someone tried to shoot him, he was just like, oh, nope, can't do anything about it, frozen in time. Is that not what's Lucian? Echo? Is that a new Echo from League of Legends, man? He just like stopped it in time, and that was really cool, and I liked that, and I was like, whoa, is that Samurai X Trust and Betrayal? Because that's basically how it started out. Basically, a village just got absolutely destroyed. As far as the plot goes, the whole plot in that, as far as, at least how I felt, was we gotta find Luke Skywalker. He is our Neo. He is the Keanu Reeves. We gotta find him, guys. And then, throughout the entirety of the movie, they find him at the very, very end. And I felt like, what? That was it? Like, obviously, they're gonna make another one. And it leaves you kind of thinking, like, well, the whole plot didn't get to a conclusion that I thought was, like, worthy enough of just watching one, like, it was good enough standalone. You know how Cowboy Bebop, when you watch, like, one episode, you can watch most of the episodes, just, like, one episode, and you felt like, wow, that episode actually ended. I didn't feel that closure. Obviously, it's due to them, obviously wanting to make a sequel, and then you gotta watch the sequel, man, you gotta watch the sequel. But, that was really cool, and I liked the way it started, like I mentioned before. But as far as like the Force powers, I was really hoping to see much more. Like, I wanted to see some Force Lightning, I wanted to see Force Drain, I wanted to see like all the cool abilities. But they only really used 2. I mean, there was technically 3, there was Force Pull. But it was only used to grab a lightsaber, and I thought that was kind of dumb. I thought they could have done much better. I felt like they should have introduced new abilities, that would have been cool. New vehicles, maybe some new weapons that were like, way more like, I was about to say game breaking, but it wasn't a game, I was talking about a movie over here. Was this Kratos from God of War? Because they're supposed to do action sequences. But anyways, that would have been really cool if they added, like, you know, more the Force abilities. That's one thing that I felt like they could have done that would have made it more enjoyable for me. There was also this silver or chrome stormtrooper that was Kylo's like bodyguard. It was like an elite stormtrooper for sure, and I felt like it was just another trash bomb in the game. Like, it didn't do anything. Or a movie. I keep on saying games. Sorry guys, I talk about games so much. Sometimes I'll mention stuff and I'll be like, it's card. But I really felt like they could have done much better with that thing. The elite stormtrooper. Like I said, it did absolutely nothing. It was just kind of there. Another thing that I really didn't like is I felt like Kylo was too weak. Some of you guys mentioned he didn't have his full training, but you talk about Finn having no training with a lightsaber. He was able to fight like basically the main like villain of Episode 7 with no problem. I think he should have died in like 1 second. He shouldn't even had a fighting chance against like this guy that has a lightsaber that's been training. Well, he's had way more training than Finn. Finn was just a stormtrooper. Obviously, stormtroopers like the trash mobs. They miss every shot, right? But there was one guy that mentioned a lot of stuff, and that's kind of why I wanted to remake this video, because he mentioned a lot of good stuff, and I really want to touch upon him. Thank you, 98 Missy, or Miss, for mentioning all these things, because I think it was a really great point. So, the whole plot was just like another Death Star. It had the same weakness, but I guess it had like a slower charge-up time. I didn't remember the exact time of the Death Star charge. I've actually watched all of them, but I wouldn't say I paid attention 120%. I was actually playing on my GB. I think I played Mega Man Battle Network. Well, it was not like during the fight scenes, which is another thing that I didn't really like with The Force Awakens. I felt like the fight scenes were relatively weak. They weren't like, oh my gosh, super amazing badass. It was no Ong Bak, like, we're Tony Jai, man. Get Tony Jai, give him some lightsabers, and I guarantee you, I would have liked the movie much better. Also, maybe just remove the lightsaber, add some vibroblades. I think vibroblades are much cooler than lightsabers anyways. Because, like, when the sabers do the little, like, flashy, like, when they like, collide, there's, like, this, like, little light that flashes, and like I feel like I missed out on some of the action there. I want it to be. Oh, I gotta move this platform. But I just felt like the main guy that was on the Sith or the dark side, Kylo, he was just too weak. And there's another thing. Oh, what did we done goofed? There's a moment where when he's fighting Rey. So when Ren is fighting Rey, I'm just gonna call him Kylo because it makes it easier. But when he's fighting, what the heck didn't let me? Oh, it's left bumper, not right bumper. When he was fighting Rey, she like closed her eyes for 10 seconds, and he didn't do anything. He was just like, oh, it's cool. You can outskill me while you just close your eyes. I guess I saw one of you mentioned, well, like it was because of a dramatic suspense. I'm like, you know, there's a time for dramatic suspense, and there's times where like the coolest villain loses to like someone that doesn't even have that much training. It's just like, it's just kind of dumb, you know. It's like when in some of the movies where like, oh, the bad guy can't hit the good guy because the good guy just like, he's just immune to damage. It's just unfortunate. And there's a time right when Han Solo dies. Like I said, there's spoilers, so I guess you know, that was forewarned. But right after he kills Han Solo, Chewbacca was hard scoping with that crossbow, right? And remember, 98 Missy mentioned this too. He was like, the crossbow hit the ground and it blew two people away. Like, it blew them away from hitting the ground. He gets a direct hit on the leg or his side. I don't know. I thought it was his leg. Some of you guys said it was his side. It doesn't matter, okay? He hit him. He was hard scoping, and he hits him, and he doesn't even get exploded or anything. Like, he should have exploded right there. That was a one-shot, one kill, even if it was in the foot. That was like the DSR-50 from Black Ops right there. And there was another moment where it was where Kylo was carrying Rey. He knocked her out, and he was carrying her, right? And Finn had an optimum time to he had so much time to shoot him. And I know some of you guys can complain and be like, well, you know, it's just part of the movie. But I just don't like that kind of stuff. Like, I really like Spartacus Blood and Sand. It's combat, and it seems like there's less of that kind of stuff in Spartacus. But I know Spartacus, Star Wars, completely different, and I know Ong Bak is totally different. But I just was hoping for much better fight scenes, and I wish it was a lot more violent too. I know it's only PG-13. We'll probably never get a rated R Star Wars movie just because it's just done for probably business. Because the more people that can watch it, you know, you have more of a chance to sell. And you know, Star Wars, even though this Star Wars I felt like was for like the fans that really were into like the older ones as well, because you get to see a lot of the older classic characters. And what they did kind of well, which I have to admit, is they blended in the new characters with the older ones, and it kind of worked relatively well. It didn't feel like all these guys are completely different. Another thing I wanted to mention that I personally thought was kind of lame, Leia didn't really do much. She was like, like they could have gave her a lightsaber, it could have been much cooler. But I know that they wanted to show off the new character Rey. That was the female protagonist that was in there, and what I guess I was supposed to move there. My bad. But yeah, I just think that they could have done a little bit better with adding more abilities. But overall, if you guys are interested in watching the movie, if you you're a Star Wars fan, you'll probably enjoy it. But for me, I go to movies basically for 3 reasons. If it's either funny, it's got good action, or a good story. This movie just wasn't necessarily for me. I felt like it was kind of weak. I felt like I know some movies are expensive. Some people they're like, oh, is this worth the money? If you're a Star Wars fan, I think that you will enjoy it. But if you're new to Star Wars, there's a lot of references that you just might not understand. You'll see some of the older characters. People, if you watch it in theaters, people will be clapping on screen. They're like, oh my gosh, R2-D2, clap, clap, clap. And for me, I'm just like, I don't care about R2-D2. I want to see someone get a lightsaber and just do like the most badass backflips and just outplay. Not necessarily like Michael Bay explosion. Someone's like, oh, you don't have the ability to watch a movie. You want Michael Bay. Dude, I don't really like explosions. I like really good fighting. Oh, am I supposed to probably grab one of these, right? Oh, there we go. I have to fight these. But I feel like the fighting could have been much better too. But that's just my personal take on it. A lot of you guys wanted my opinion on it, so there's my opinion. But like I said, if you're a Star Wars fan, you'll probably enjoy it. It's probably going to be a blast for you. But if you're new to the series, I think you'll have a much better time. Perhaps if you only have like a certain amount of money to spend. Because like I said, I know some people that don't have, going to the movie is pretty expensive now. It's like $15. I had to spend $15 for one ticket. But I think a much better way to introduce you into Star Wars is not necessarily this movie. I think that you'll have a much better time playing this game called Knights of the Old Republic. It's the first one. It was originally for the Xbox, like the original, and it's also available on the PC, but it'll be a much better introduction to Star Wars because this is technically the 7th one in the episode, and if you're unfamiliar with it, it'll kind of be a little bit different. But even for me, I like my sci-fi pretty hardcore, in-depth. I like philosophical stuff, so Deus Ex to me it just has the ultimate bar as far as sci-fi goes, and I kind of hold my standards up to Deus Ex. And I know that they are technically different, but you guys wanted my opinion, and that's how I really feel. I feel like if I've watched Deus Ex, like if you watch like Cowboy Bebop or some other like great, top tier animes, when you go and watch other animes, you're just gonna feel like, this one was just so much better. It kind of, I don't want to almost say like it ruins your experience, but that's just my standards for it. And I also feel like the Mass Effect universe, as far as sci-fi, like with all the alien stuff, I think they did a better job, but. We're comparing apples to oranges, I guess. But that's how I like to compare things. But, one thing I want to mention that I thought would have been really funny at the end is that, at the very end, right when they're like, oh, we're going to reveal Luke Skywalker, man, it shows, like, the back of him, and it's going to, like, rotate to show his face. And they show his face at, like, the very end. It would have been funny if it was like, oh, psych, is Jar Jar Binks, and it's just like, Misa Jar Jar. And, like, Luke is actually dead, Jar Jar killed him and took over. It would have been a sick plot twist. They could have done a lot of other plot twists. I feel like the plot twist, it was kind of weak. Kind of repeated itself, which is something that 98 Missy also mentioned. But seriously, the time where Kylo got wrecked by Rey, when she was literally, she had her eyes closed for like half an hour. Like, did she get hit by Morgana Q? Or like, I don't know, Kylo might have got hit by it too, because he was sitting there like, I don't know, man. I'm pretty much like outplayed, outskilled by her closing her eyes. I just felt like it's one of those times in like one of those horror movies where like, just do it, man! Where's Shia LaBeouf, man? He should have been in the movie too. But like I said, I think you guys will enjoy it if you're a Star Wars fan. But if you're unfamiliar with the series, maybe pick up Force Unleashed. You'll have a much better time enjoying the Star Wars universe. But like I said, Knights of the Republic will be a great one for you to check out if you want to be introduced in the Star Wars universe and you don't really want to watch the older films, because I know some people, they just don't want to watch the older films. Oh, another thing I want to mention, which some people liked, some people didn't like. This is kind of subjective. I mean, this whole video is subjective. It's my opinion on the movie. But they didn't use that much CG. A lot of the stuff was actually costumed. Some people like that. Personally, for me, I like to see how technology evolved. And I felt like they could have done some amazing CG. And we're talking Disney. They got some time. I mean, have you seen the fur on Sully from Monsters Incorporated? That looks so good. Like, I was really hoping to see Chewie like that. I wanted to see how they can make it flow, like, you know, see the DOA girl's hair. But anyways, that's my thoughts and opinions on it. I know some of you guys wanted it, and you just want to know if it's a movie worth watching. And the thing is, if you're a Star Wars fan, yeah, but if you really like hardcore sci-fi, or if I'm familiar with it, it might not just be for you. But anyways, that's my opinion on it, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Give it a rating 1 through 10. I would probably rate it an 8 out of 10 if I was like an average person that was like, oh yeah, I really like Star Wars, I'll defend Star Wars just because I really like it. But for me, I would give it, I'd rather replay Knights of the Old Republic out of 10. That's what I would give it. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. It's been your boy Will Smith, signing out.